What's going on, everybody? It's your boy X here. Welcome back to episode 6 of The Last of Us. Ooh, was this kind of a juicy episode? But I think this episode is where we see like the most changes in this whole series. I thought it was like I still think episode 3 was like we saw the most changes when they basically cut out Bill's town completely. But this episode we have a lot to discuss. I'm going to see Tommy, Jackson, Joe and Ellie bonding more, some more backstories. Just the typical stuff. And of course, if you have played the game, you should know where is leaning to. Even though they do some small changes in this series so far, and I have reviewed every single episode. I made a playlist on my channel, so you can go check it out after you watch this one if you would like. Spoiler warning ahead. Of course, like always, I will be going over the plot, the details, the changes, everything to the nook and cranny and stuff. If you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, if you're out the channel so much. And let's get into episode 6 of The Last of Us. So before I talk about the plot or talk about anything, I'm going to talk about the changes that they made from the game in this episode. There were some very some notable changes. If you played the game, if you did not play the game, then of course then I want to apply it to you. But first off, we get to meet Tommy and his wife Maria. Now, of course, in the game, Maria is white, and then in this show they made her black. Of course, I absolutely have no problem with that. But I was like, wow, okay. Then the next thing is the scene where Joel and Tommy get into that little fight, whatever. Which is it still happens, but it's just but that was a change as well. The change where Ellie finds out that Joel had a daughter, and his daughter, of course, Sarah died, and they're in that room of that house. Now in the game, Ellie takes off and runs away, and Joel and Tommy have to look for her, and they find her in the house. That's not in this and stuff. She's in the house already in Jackson itself, and Joel comes in, and when they and that's what I talk about. Sometimes they'll do the lines from the game, shot for shot, and sometimes they won't. It's like they're inconsistent. But here we get the I'm not her, Joel. No, but don't you bring her up and stuff. You don't know what loss is and stuff. Of course, where Ellie is telling her that he's sorry that he lost his daughter, and Joel is like, you don't know what loss is. You're right. You're not my daughter. I'm sure as hell ain't your daddy and stuff. So yeah, so scenes like that and stuff, it's like some more bigger changes, some more small changes, even though I have no problem with it. But I just thought that I just find that a little bit kind of weird, because I would like to see, especially the part where Ellie runs away and then they find her in the house. But yes. All right, so where does the episode start? So basically, we come off the heels of Henry Lily, taking himself out after killing Sam, his brother, who was infected. Fast forward, basically, it's snowing. They're in. I did it in. I did it in Colorado. So basically, we get this. We start off with a scene where this couple, and Joe's asking for directions, because they're lost, and he's saying that I'm looking for my brother, and stuff. And of course, people in this show, or just any apocalypse, won't help you. They know, because again, it's survival of the fittest. No, everybody has that instinct to protect their own. So so they leave, they wander and stuff, and they come across the den. And here's where we get our first shot of Jackson. Of course, if you guys play the game, you know Jackson is this big settlement of people that have came together and have food, water, electricity, medicine, doctors and stuff, schools and stuff. It's like they live a normal life in this little town. And so while they were, I find a way into it, they get stopped by, some of Tommy's people and stuff, and they had this dog where it literally can sniff if you're affected, and it seems like Joel in this has a little like heart problems and stuff, like like in the very beginning, like he will grab, like he's grabbing his chest, like he's having a heart attack. I don't know if it's because if it's anxiety or something. So I wonder how that's gonna play out in future episodes. But I found out that that is like a big change from the game. Yeah, but anyway, and then he's worried about the dog sniffs Ellie, because Ellie is affected, but she's immune. That the dog's gonna bark and growl, and then they're gonna, the dog's gonna attack her, or they're gonna shoot her and stuff. But again, the dog didn't sense nothing, and they bring Joe and Ellie into their town, and basically we get the reunion of Joel and Tommy officially and stuff. You have Joel said, "Tommy!" And Tommy just looks at him, and they just run and they hug each other and stuff. I know the big old family reunion and stuff, and then they eat. Joe meets his wife, Maria. I guess like Joel's shocked because Tommy has gone with his life. He left his past behind, about him and Joel, because again, him and Joel used to kill people and do some shady stuff. But again, they showing them around the town, and Ellie in this episode, I still like her, but she's kind of like, this episode, it was like, all right, kind of pump the brakes and stuff. She's very like disrespectful in this episode, more so than any other episode. Cursing, just being just a smart ass. And again, that's her character in the game and stuff. And I love Ellie in the show, but in this episode, she was a tad too much. As sometimes when it was like no, people just trying to talk to her, ask her questions, she would just come back with like, oh, I'll look at these assholes, and or fuck this, or fuck that and stuff. And it's just like, there's like a time for that, and then other times it's just like, all right, chill. But for Ellie, I did enjoy her, but she was a tad bit too, like on edge on this for this episode. But then we get the scene where Joel is talking to Tommy, and Billy Tommy says, I'm gonna be a father, and again, Joel and Tommy got into it because again, on what they did in the past. Tommy left him because Joel's like, we had to do what we had to do to survive, and Tommy just moved on and said that just because life has stopped for you doesn't mean that's stopped for me. And then later on, we get a scene where again Joel and Tommy are talking, and Joel in this episode breaks down, like emotional. Like I'm talking about, like these past 2 episodes is the most emotion I have seen from Joel. Finally, and it's just fantastic. Like I really like this Joel a lot. I think that he captured the like at times he could be tough or hard ass, and at times he's a little bit vulnerable. And again, that's how people are and stuff. No matter how tough you are, no matter oh, men don't cry. Oh, behind closed doors, yes you do and stuff. We all get that way. We all, bang our head against the wall. We all go through tragedies, loss, hardships and stuff. And sometimes, I know if you're talking to that person that you love or care about or family, you're gonna get emotional and stuff. And that's okay. And Joel here talking to his brother, saying that I can't take her. Can you take Ellie to the Firefly hospital because I know I'm gonna get her killed. Basically, he has no faith in himself. And again, this is like Joe really dealing with his demons about his past and having no faith, because again, now he's to the point where he's actually caring about Ellie, not just as cargo, but as his daughter or stepdaughter. So so he's terrified, and he tells Tommy to take her in the morning. That's when Joel goes back to the house, and we get this scene from the game where basically Maria tells Ellie about Sarah, because Sarah had no idea about Joel even had a daughter or she died. And then Joel was like, don't bring her up. You have no idea about loss, and that come sunrise we'll go our separate ways. And Ellie's like, oh, everybody is either that was in my life either is dead or have left me, except everybody but you. And so I'm like, that's from the game, yes, and stuff. So again, there are scenes that are in the game, then there are scenes that they change. And again, we all know how this plays out. Joel is already is already out there and stuff, and they decided to go together because again they are a team, and Ellie is growing a bond attached to Joel and stuff, and she always want to be around him because again, of course Ellie has trust issues and she don't trust anybody but Joel because again they basically crossed the country together. So they go, and again, I don't know if I'm not gonna say that they rushed the Jackson town scene because they sure didn't, but I was expecting a little bit more from Tommy and Joel, it's maybe we'll get some more, but if this is like the last episode that we see from Tommy, I really hope not, because I really am in. This man sounds like Tommy. He sounds like Tommy, like his voice and stuff. Like he sounds like Tommy. So I really do. I really hope that that we get to see him. And how many is it? 7, 8. Yeah. We got like 3 more episodes. So maybe not. I don't know. But moving on, we get the final scene is the college scene from the game. The Colorado University. So basically they're looking for the Fireflies in this college. Again, if you have played the game, you know this scene is where Joel gets stabbed, or that pipe and stuff. He gets impaled and stuff, but not here. No, this was the big twist. And again, this show has to be realistic. So I get why they change it, but but they go into the college and look for the Fireflies, and they're looking for any information. Where could the Fireflies have gone? And they found Salt Lake City. They go there, and so they're going there, and basically, some raiders show up. Then they try to flee, and this is where the biggest change happens, because in the game, you're fighting the raiders and stuff. You're shooting them and making your way through the campus. And this is what they kind of rushed the college scene, because again, you had like a whole infected segment. I only played the game, but a whole affected segment where Joel falls down and try to go through these these affected dorms, and there's clickers and runners. I think there's even a bloater and stuff. So just some stuff like I don't know why they are so stingy with the affected. Because again, in the game, at least in the first game, the affected played a huge part. So, I want to see I want to see like some more of that. And again, that college scene, there were some key scenes, especially for the affected, that could really made this episode stand out like episode 5 and stuff. Because again, this episode was slow. Because again, no, get to meet Tommy, learn more backstory, but just having that, they're going to college and they're looking around, and Joe Ellie gets split up, and then basically, Joe has to find his way back up from those affected doorways and stuff, and gotta kill some affected. That would've been awesome. But that's another change that I noticed. But the biggest one of all before the credits roll is Joel getting stabbed or impaled. In the game, Joel gets ambushed on the balcony by the Raider and stuff, and the Raider is like it's like pushing him down. Now again, on the ground is a lead pipe, just sticking up. And basically, the railing, the glass cracks, and Joel and the Raider falls, and then Joel lands on his back, and basically the lead pipe, just impales him. And basically, when you first play the game, that scares the shit out of you, because like, oh my god, like when I first played the game, I'm like, oh my god, is Joel gonna die? Like, this man just got impaled. And so, and basically, Ellie has to pull him up, and you just see, like, and he's in pain, he's limping and stuff, and you have to fight your way through the college with the whole group of Raiders and stuff. And but in this, it's from a baseball bat, which I find that, like, odd, because it's like, a lead pipe would do more damage than a baseball bat, so basically, Joe and Ellie, they sneak out the back, and they run to the horse, and basically Ellie says, "Joel, behind you," and it's a Raider, and he swings the baseball bat. It breaks on the tree, like it breaks. I'm assuming that he has the piece in his hand, and when Joel grabs him and puts him on a tree, I'm guessing that's when he stabs him, but Joel didn't realize it, because again, when your adrenaline is pumping and stuff, so Joel grabs him, puts him in a chokehold and stuff, and then snaps his neck, but then again, and that's when Ellie realizes, like, oh shit, and you just see that the handle of the baseball bat in Joel, and he pulls it out, and just like, okay, this is how they did it and stuff. And again, not a problem with the scene, but again, I know a big change, because again, they're trying to make this show more grounded. But again, so basically the rest of the Raiders come, and Ellie puts Joel on the horse, and they ride. And again, we all know how this plays out. When Joel collapses to the ground, and Ellie's trying to wake him up, and again he passes out because, again, of the blood loss, and then basically that's the credits. So this episode, in whole, I'm gonna give it a great tier. Again, another great episode, not as amazing as the last one, because again, if we got those sections of the affected in our college things, it would have brought up. But again, there were a lot of changes that were made to the game from the show, from the game to the show, and again, some people might like that, some people might not. I don't mind that, because again, this Joe and this Ellie are doing a great job despite the changes and stuff. Now again, I do have some issues with some changes because again, I do want some scenes that were in the game, in the show, and again, I want to see a little bit more effective because episode 5 was the first time we saw infected since episode 2. So that could have been great for this episode to have no some of those college affected scenes in in the episode. But yeah, but I'm giving episode 6 a great tier and stuff. We gotta think about the episode and stuff. Did you enjoy it? Was it better than 5? Or was it like okay, just let me know in the comments below. The next episode of The Last of Us, we're gonna find out, Ellie's backstory and stuff, and her friend, Riley. Basically, if you played the Left Behind DLC, it's basically that. So it's gonna probably be another slow episode, but we did see some affected in this, so yeah. So I want to see how they do, that. Did you enjoy today's video? Make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, which video I could tell so much. I feel like this show is going okay so far. Had some highs, had some lows and stuff, but overall, it's still one of the best video game adaptations so far. Period. Stay safe, guys. Take it easy. Peace.